having another child, it can do wonders for you, man. It can do wonders for you and bringing that youth back into your life. So that's another topic we can touch on later on down the line.
It'll bring my summers to a close. I look at my life as far as summers. I like to think that I got at least 20 summers left. I'm not so sure if bringing a kid into the equation don't take about 5 or 6 of them summers off.
No, not really. So if you think you got 20 summers left without an infant, with an infant, you might want to add 10 more summers of that. I'm just saying it's in the Bible.
Look, I got off really good. My kids were really good. Obviously, my oldest daughter, she lived with me her junior and senior year. And so, obviously you get a young lady with her emotions and get me. I'm rigid. I'm very structured. She's not rigid. She's not structured. But I think the thing now, in talking to her now, and I'm so proud of the young woman that she's turned into, is that when we have conversation, she's like, Dad, I didn't see it at the time, but I really appreciate it now. And it's kind of like it was when I was with my grandmother. When they telling my grandmother and my grandfather sharing all these stories, you're a kid, you don't know. You just want to do what you want to do.
Right.
But now, and for me, and I tell people this all the time, I can remember everything my grandfather said to me. My grandfather died in February of 1977. I was 8 years old, about to be 9. And I can remember everything my grandfather said. I can tell you, my grandmother lived until I was 43 years of age. I can tell you every time my grandmother has ever got upset at me. And I can tell you why, and I can tell you what I did. That's how the impact of what they were, what they said, and how they treated me, the impact that it had. And so for my kids to appreciate it, because I was hard on them. I was.
You
because
were?
I was. Yeah.
So you were the disciplinarian.
Absolutely.
Yeah. See, I was a total opposite. And one of the few things that I commend those that I have kids from, they did one hell of a job. They did one hell of a job because I was more lenient. And all my kids turned out to be phenomenal in the area as far as getting in trouble and making some of the right decisions. And I don't want to take the credit. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm going to take the credit for what they turned out to be. All credit is due to the mothers, and because of them and because of the structure and discipline that they did have, even with the young ones, it's the same way. Everyone has turned out to be phenomenal, and I've never been on a platform like this to be able to give them the credit that they do and give them their just due. But man, most definitely, I'm very, very, very grateful for them. But because of that structure and discipline, it's allowed me to be able to do some of the things that I've done now, even to this day, just throughout the years. And everything is going so smooth and transition because of them.
Yeah, it was difficult because I'm away playing, and when they come over, their mom was a little bit was a little more less lenient than I am. Right. So you ain't standing on the couch, you're not jumping on the bed, you're not running through the house, you're not leaving doors open and things like that. So they looking at me like, but to their mom's credit, there's like, okay. They were kind of like, your dad is a little different than I am. Your dad is a little bit more structured. Your daddy's voice carries a little bit more as the mom. And so, but to give those guys credit, their mom did a great job. They always, the kids always had obviously the utmost. And even though we had, we had our issues at times because we were young.
Same.
We had our issues, but we worked through those things. I think the biggest thing for me is that looking back at it, like, okay, I could have handled that differently. Yeah, you could have. And we talked about it. And I think we're in a great place now. But the kids, for me, they understood, I could just give my kids that because I would take them to the mall and people would ask, like, how do you get your kids to do that? Like, do what? Right. They're like, they sit down, they don't move. They're not running around. I mean, my kids will be all over the place.
Right.
Oh, no.
You don't play that?
You show out, you get whoa out. It really is. Hey, that's how but see, if you're not careful,
you sound like my grandma, man.
But you know what? If you're not careful, you would do it, and you're like, and I didn't discipline my kids much. It had to be something that really I thought that they really needed to learn a lesson in this situation because, and people are like, well, why are you so hard on them? I say I wouldn't be. If they were going to stay that size and that age, I let them do what the hell they want to do because everybody think kids cute.
Right.
But one day they're going to be teenagers. And if I'm fortunate enough, I'll see them they'll build adults, and I'll be able to see my grandkids.
Yeah.
So I need to teach them right from wrong and understand and discipline and work ethic.
Right.
You want something, hey, you need to, and I've had this conversation with people that work their way from the mud, like we say, we got it out the mud,
out the mud
from the concrete.
Right.
How do you instill that work ethic in them when you got 25,000, you got maids, you got chefs, you got chauffeurs, you got security detail? How do you instill that?
That's a good question.
That's in your kids.
I'm asking you, how did you do that?
Well, what did I tell you?
Yeah.
I'm last option, not first choice.
Okay. I'm gonna try that. But it's hard for me to say no. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I'm hard. Whether I'm the first option or the last option, if somebody texts my phone, you know it's coming.
Well, I think the thing is for me is that they know it better be a good reason. Now, the question is, why didn't you come to me first? You get yourself in a bind because you trying to do something and not let me find out about it. Right, I'm going to need to know why you didn't come to me first.
Right.
I don't need to know all your business. You're grown. But remember now, if you grown all the time. Don't be grown when you need daddy. Because, a lot of times, kids, I'm grown, right. Okay, you grown. But it took me a while to be able to okay, they are grown. Because I remember the first time I went out with my kids and and they came by with the drink menus. And my kids got the menu and they looking like, okay, I'll take this. And I look like,
yeah.
They're like, Daddy, we 25, we 26.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
You're right. You're not kids anymore.
They caught me off guard on our trips. We take our annual trips when everybody get out of school. Man, we in Jamaica, we in Mexico, and I'm looking at y'all ordering who? Ordering what? And I'm looking at rail, and it hadn't clicked, even though they grown, 25.
Yeah.
20, like, okay. I'm not used to that. But then
I know.
And then I'm doing the preaching, but why y'all not like your daddy? Why y'all not like your daddy? Because your daddy ain't never had a sip of alcohol a day in life. But here y'all go. Y'all drinking.
Dang. You know what?
It's all good.
But that's them. They have their own identity. What got me excited doesn't get them excited. Right. And I wanted them to have their own identity. And for the most part, my kids won't tell you who they are. Now, obviously, my oldest daughter, she kind of looks like me. So the first thing they see her, they're like, you look just like your dad. But if you don't know,
right,
she ain't gonna tell you. My youngest daughter kind of got my name.
Right.
But she'll tell people, that's like, are you related to that former football player? She's like, nah, my mom just liked his name though. So she used to root for the Broncos and she liked his name. So
yeah. Listen, I can't. All my kids look like me. That's a good thing because I look good. I look good.
Yeah. How many do you have? You got how many? 11, how many girls? How many boys?
11 and impossible.
How many boys? 11, how many girls?
8 and 3. 8 girls.
8.
Oh, yeah.
Have mercy, Ocho.
11 and impossible. I'm not finished. I'm not finished either.
Huh?
I'm not finished. Yeah, man. Yeah. Baby. She's trying to pretend like she's asleep. Yeah, I'm working, man. I can't listen. One thing you can't do in life is you can't end on the odd numbers. You can't end on the odd numbers. Well, odd number, that's bad luck.
No, having more kids is bad luck.